Academics and environmental researchers across Africa have condemned Ghana government's use of the military in fighting illegal mining, referring to it as a loose way of protecting the environment from climate crisis and promoting sustainable environment. They have thus called on the government to focus on addressing the rising unemployment situation in the country that has compelled some persons to engage in illegal mining. Citi News' Ashanti Regional Correspondent Doris Lonta has the details.
The illegal mining menace has in recent years remained a major concern for all stakeholders as many water bodies, forest reserves and farmlands continue to get destroyed. Despite the government of Ghana's radical approach of using the military to clamp down on the menace, the situation virtually remains the same in many mining areas, as it has even gotten worse in other parts of the country. In an effort to combat climate crisis and promote environmental sustainability and development, some experts, environmentalists and professors in academia have kicked against human activities posing a threat to the environment and admonished the Ghanaian government to provide a source of livelihood and survival for individuals engaged in illegal mining instead of using the military and coercion to address the menace. Speaking to Citi News, the Provost of College of Arts and Built Environment at KNUST, Professor John Bugri, attributes the engagement in illegal mining to poverty and lack of sustainable means of survival, and has thus called on the government to provide more job opportunities to combat the menace.
We have to appreciate that when it comes to sustainable development, financing is critical. And if we are going to wait on external donors to always come and finance sustainable development project for us, it's never going to happen. So we need to look inward for resources, change our attitudes in a way that will promote sustainable development practices. If, for example, you look at the current galamsey that is ongoing and making the country look like an environmental earthquake zone, we are really asking the question, why? And the reason is very simple. People have got to satisfy their current needs. People are needing to survive. And when the survival has to be with respect to degrading the environment, because they don't want to die, they will do that. So for us to get them off distraction, we need to provide them with alternative livelihoods that are sustainable. But when we don't do that, and we force them out today with the military, tomorrow they're going to be back there because they have to survive.
As an academic, he laments the inability of industry to provide proper education to absorb the talents and skills of university graduates.
In university, we have got programs that deal with environmental science, we have got programs that deal with sustainable development as topics, so many of them. But the principle is, after you are taught and you leave KNUST, do you practice those principles? If you are in an industry, do you take the knowledge and let it transcend into wisdom so that you are going to use the knowledge you learned or gained to solve a societal problem? That is where the crux of the matter is.
President of Green Communities International, Professor De Graft Owusu-Menu, attributes Ghana's inability to sustain the environment to selfish thinking and poor leadership. Although he applauds the government for implementing the emission levy to help fight climate crisis, he regrets the implementation will render the levy useless.
Systems that are supposed to make sure you comply are not enforced. Certainly, human beings will do things anyhow to please themselves, right? And once systems are put in place to make sure we do the right thing, we will go by. So it deals with the mindset, it deals with leadership, poor leadership, right? And unfortunately, most of our leaders too are selfish. The emission levies that have been introduced, to me, is a very novel idea. But even that one, implementation, is just on paper. How are they implementing it?
The experts made these comments during a 3-day international conference at KNUST under the theme Enhancing Environment, Social Governance and Sustainability for Africa's Development. Conference co-chairman Dr. Christian Sawado Mensah highlighted the need and urgency for addressing climate challenges caused by human activities.
If we don't act now, if we don't stop polluting the environment today, tomorrow we are all going to get choked. If we don't protect our food, if we continue to waste food, post-harvest losses, if we continue to misuse our resources, will there be enough for us to cater for even ourselves, to sustain ourselves, let alone sustaining the future generations?
Professors and environmentalists across Africa are emphasizing the need for sustainable development across Africa. They have thus called on industries and professionals in academia to collaborate to ensure the sustainability across Africa. Reporting for Citi News, I'm Doris Lonta, KNUST, Ashanti Region.